Alrighty, so today I want to talk about the best teams. This is going to be the December 2024 edition. Now, I've kind of went through a philosophy change in terms of how I do these videos now, so I just want you to keep that in mind as this video goes on, that there is going to be a bit of a new format for how I do these. I think that the best way to go about this is just to talk about some of the teams that I like using right now and some of the best teams in the game in terms of character rosters, leader skills, synergy, stuff like that. So please don't interpret this as a 1 to 10, this team is better than this team. This is just going to be some of the better teams in the game that you can get away with running right now, especially in just about every type of content. So with that being said, these are, like I said, just my opinion, and if I missed any, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, so that way we can have a discussion and all of those fun things. So let's go ahead and get started. The first team I want to look at today is the Majin Buu Saga team. Now, this team just recently got a new addition, and I'm sure most of you know who that is. That is the Buuhan character. But the problem with Buuhan, we'll be talking more about his team later, he is just not a Majin Buu Saga-centric unit, right? A lot of his characters blend into the Majin Buu Saga category, but this is not where this character is meant to be ran. He is not meant to be ran on like a Super Saiyan 3 Goku-led team, right? But looking at some of the options that this team has, it is pretty bonkers, right? We have characters like STR Super Vegito, we have Physical Buuhan, we have AGL Ultimate Gohan, we have the STR Super Saiyan Family Kamehameha Gohan, we have the new Buuhan, we have this Grand Kai. I don't really know if there's a place to use him. Is that even Grand Kai? I don't know, honestly. TBH, I don't know who this is. This is yeah, Grand Supreme Kai. I was close enough. We've got this Dragon Fist Goku. He was added to it recently. This Fat Buu, Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku, right? Good characters if you want some like honorable mentions that are just okay characters. We have characters like AGL Super Buu, the Buu Duo, the Goten and Gohan character. And if I'm not mistaken, this character's down here as well. Videl's EZA is solid. There is a lot of potential for this team to improve as well. I think EZA's two characters like Kid Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku could go a pretty long way. So I'm pretty excited to see how those work in the future. Majin Vegeta's EZA is probably sooner rather than later as well. This character is coming up on 3 years old when we reach Saiyan Day this year, so we can start to talk about potential EZAs for this Majin Vegeta as well. So this Gotenks, good banner unit. This guy works well on the Majin Power team. So a lot of really good characters here, but definitely not the best team in the game, but one that I am a big fan of. So let's go ahead and move on. Now, the next team I want to talk about, this does have a character that is not on global yet. Actually, the final character who has not released before the sync, and that is going to be AGL Full Power Jiren. Now, AGL Full Power Jiren, you don't really need him, to be honest, like if you want to run the Universal Survival Saga team, because this UI Goku is just fine, and he's probably better. So it's like, statistically, this character is nice, and he does give extra buffs to like Universe 11 characters, so characters like Dispo and God of Destruction Topo, they are going to be getting a big buff from this Detect Jiren as well, just because they get that extra key, so that does help. But UI Goku is definitely going to be like the optimal lead that you want to run. Having his domain and stuff like that is going to be a major player for you. So looking at some of the best characters on this team, we've got Jiren, we've got Tech UI Goku. I think this Ribrianne, Kakunsa, and Rosie is pretty slept on. I think this God Goku and Hit is due for an EZA. 17 and Frieza's EZA is like one of the best yellow coin LRs of all time in terms of their EZA, right? This character is absolutely bonkers, especially in like the slot 2 or slot 3 range. If there's no AoE, this character is just insanely good. Universe 7 character with Android 17, just okay. This Roshi in like the most dire, desperate situation. This is like your only filler character. You can run him if like you are going into an event where like the enemy can be debuffed with like stuns and seals and stuff like that. This character also does have a revival, so that does help as well. AGL UI Goku, still a I don't know, top 8 unit in the game. Evolution Blue Vegeta is still the same idea, right? This Jiren's just okay. Evolution Blue Vegeta and Kaioken Blue Goku, very good character as well. This Physical Hit is really good for free-to-play. These guys are kind of nothing burgers right now. You guys know we talked about Topo earlier, very good. Dispo, very good. But, you know, like you kind of come down here, we have 17 and 18. They're all right, right? Kale is all right. Koei has a decent EZA. Like, just a lot of good options on this team. And then also a future EZA in Angel Golden Frieza. Who knows knows how that's going to be. So very top heavy team here, but the Universal Survival Saga team I definitely still like a lot. Now, let's go ahead and move on to Super Saiyans. Now, Super Saiyans, this is again a loaded lineup with a ton of great characters, right? If you just want to run like a pure Super Saiyans team, you could get away with running something like the Super Saiyan Trio, Super Saiyan Family Kamehameha Gohan, this Gogeta right here. We have this Broly you could potentially run, fusing Super Vegito, fusing Super Gogeta. These are characters that are going to work very well. Right now, as of the time I'm recording this video on December 9th, this AGL Gohan actually has those limited anniversary buffs, and so do the 3-year LRs. So these 3 characters here, this little shape that I'm forming like this, these characters all have limited anniversary buffs, so you can get away with running them at the time. Just looking at this, right? This Tech Broly could work with like AGL, no, because they share the same name. But like this Tech Broly, you know, you want to run him with somebody, you could potentially get away with doing that. If you want to really get technical, like if you float this character off and then keep him on a rotation, and then you get him back on turn 4 and transform him, you can run these 2 as a rotation. But obviously they share the same name, so it can be a little bit tricky. But looking further, we have Saiyan Day Vegeta. This is a really good character. God Goku is still aging gracefully. Not like, it's not his best meta right now, but he is still very damn good. This Goku Gohan is due for an easy A sometime soon, I would imagine within like the next year and a half or so. AGL Trunks, who knows? The GT Golden Week characters, who knows, right? This Goten and Gohan, or I keep messing this up. This Goten and Trunks, very good character. Gotenks, very good. And we are potentially going to be seeing an additional Super Saiyan being added to this category, as well as the Buu Saga category, with Super Saiyan, allegedly Super Saiyan Gotenks coming to the game very soon. Now, let's go ahead and move on to Transformation Boost. Now, this is one of the most versatile categories on this list. I'm a big fan of this team, and I like the different ways that you can run it. You can go with a Buuhan-centric power absorption focused team here to get the most out of Buuhan. You can go with a more super bosses or, you know, something like that to focus on Broly. You can get a lot of good characters out of this. So you run like these 3 Brolys right here, you're in business. You have like Gogeta Blue, you have Tech UI Goku, Jiren, Orange Piccolo, the Super Saiyan Trio right here, right? Janemba, Buuhan, these characters right here who all have their anniversary buffs right now. Like, these guys are going to be getting an easy A soon, so, like, you never know, man. Like, this is a pretty wicked team, right? You got a lot of stuff going on. Fat Buu, Topo, Harudagarn, right? Android 21. There's just a lot of funky stuff going on with this team, and I think it has a ton of potential. Bojack. I think this Janemba could be getting an easy A before you know it, right? He's coming up on 4 years old, so a lot of good things going on with the Transformation Boost team, so hopefully they continue to sort of buff that in the future. So that's the 4th team I want to look at. Let's go ahead and move on to the 5th one, which is going to kind of tie into the last team that we looked at, and that is going to be Power Absorption. So with Power Absorption, we have the Buuhan right here. You guys know we are doubling up on Buuhans when we are running this team, and then we are for sure running the physical Buuhan because he's going to be the best linking partner for this Tech Buuhan when he transforms, because the biggest downside to this character right here is you're just going to be missing out on big bad bosses when you link him up with Buuhan physical Buu tanks. So could be a little bit of an issue, but we have Int Cell. With the anniversary buffs, you guys know this is a pretty cracked out character. We have somebody like Int Fat Buu. He works out pretty well. In the short form content, it's like 2 to 3 turns. This Fat Buu like gives you the revival and the usher, which is really nice. And then if you want to, like, you know, transition over to longer fights, you're going to be able to stack him up and then also have the Ghost Usher as well. So this character's sort of a jack of all trades sort of unit that's going to work pretty well on the team. Tech Exchange Buu, he works out fine, especially when you get into that evil Buu form, but that base can be a little bit suspect. Mr. Buu, he's the GOAT with that damn introduction and all those fun things. But then you kind of get into a bit of a wash here. Power absorption buffs are going to be a little bit needed, but I think the combination of some of these Majin Buu characters is enough to at least warrant mentioning this team. So power absorption, very good. You are just working through this Buu right here, his domain, stuff like that, and it's going to be a really good team for you. Next up, we have the Kamehameha team. Now, you guys know how well the Kamehameha team performs. This is always going to be a team that has like premium help. It's always going to be getting updated throughout the year. You could see in 2024 alone, we have 5 new summonable LRs, or yeah, technically summonable LR with this, well, no, he's not, you know, so 4 summonable LRs and then a free-to-play LR with LR Grandpa Gohan, so 5 new LRs regardless, right? And we had a heroes leader or a heroes character come out for this category, stuff like that. And if we look at the TUR side of things, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we'll count like free to play 5, right? Free to play 6, like a bunch of like this category is always getting updated. So Looking at it, right, it is a little bit top heavy, I will say right now. If you want to run this guy, you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the anniversary buffs on Gohan. The Super Saiyan Trio is going to be working out very well for you. Tech Ultra Instinct Goku is going to be working out fine for you. You have STR Vegito paired up with Tech Gogeta. These two characters are going to work out very well. AGL UI Goku works out fine. I think Namek Goku is on the cusp of his EZA. The 7-year anniversary LRs are going to be getting their EZA soon, and then the 5th-year EZ LRs as well as this Gohan have their anniversary buffs. This Goku has his anniversary buffs. These guys have their anniversary buffs. So a lot of anniversary buffage going on right now. So a lot of good things I like with this team. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is going to be Uncontrollable Power. Now, this is basically the movie boss's team, but you do have access to a few things like Buuhan. You have access to other things like Super Buu, right? This Buuhan right down here. Harudegarn fits on the team with the movie bosses and stuff like that, but mostly a movie bosses centric team. The way you kind of want to set it up is you run like double Int Broly, you bring Tech Broly, you bring Cell Max, you bring Bio Broly, you can bring the Tech Broly EZA if you really want to. You want to bring Beerus now that his Super EZA exists. I think that character works out really well for you wherever he may be. Where's Beerus? Beerus is on this team if I'm not mistaken, right? Maybe not. I'm tripping. He's on movie bosses. I know that. Am I dumb? Don't answer that. Yeah, so Beerus would be like the movie bosses version of that. My bad. But with Uncontrollable Power, you have the Super EZA for STR Broly, right? This Kid Buu, he works out just fine. Just a really solid team overall that you can really take advantage of with a lot of characters that have damage reduction, a lot of characters that have guard, a lot of characters that stack, a lot of characters that are doing a lot of damage. This team just works out really well. So Uncontrollable Power, I think kind of working through the core of the Brolys and Cell Max is the way that you want to go, and it's going to work out just fine for you when it comes to damage and stuff like that. You're going to have this Tech Broly, and then these guys can definitely build up and start hitting pretty hard when you get them going. This Broly, this Cell Max, this Broly, with the stacking. Bio Broly's got his taunt and his defense. These characters all work very well together. So Uncontrollable Power, one of the best teams in the game. Let's move on to the next team, which is going to be one of the newer additions as well, and that is the Demonic Power team. So Demonic Power, this team, not a kind of a surprise mention here in terms of just like characters that you think would work out really well together. Like when you think of like a Lord Slug Leader Seal, you're not thinking of one of the best teams in the game, but right now I think this is one of the best teams in the game. You have this version of Slug right up here who works really well. These Gohans can work really well together, all 4 of them. Orange Piccolo fits onto the team. This AGL Gohan with his anniversary buffs, this Buuhan, right? All really, this Majin Buu, just a lot of top-heavy, really well-designed characters that can work well together. Harudegarn can find a spot on the team. If you need like AoEs or something, you could bring my Junior. This Piccolo, if you have movie heroes around, can be like an honorable mention that you could slide onto the team. I think Demonic Power is a little bit top-heavy, but with like Tech Ultimate Gohan, Exchange Buu, right? You just go down the list and you're just like, wow, there are a lot of good characters on this team. This Kid Buu, and you really can just kind of work through like floating Slug and having rotations of like the Buuhans together and like Gohan with these 2 Gohans. Like it works really well. So I think Demonic Power is actually one of the better teams in the game. And if you do have Lord Slug, I think you should be taking advantage of his leader skill and trying this Demonic Power team out. So next up, the tried and true classic. I don't really need to go on too much about this team. You guys know how they work, and that is going to be the superheroes category. Just an all-in-all solid team. Has not changed one bit with how good they are, but literally they've only gotten better because of anniversary buffs for the 5-year LRs, right? Where it's like Beast Gohan, Tech UI Goku, AGL UI Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, right? Evo Ken, Gogeta Blue, the Gammas, Orange Piccolo. All of these characters work phenomenally together. They were designed to work well with one another, and it works out really well. If you need like an honorable mention for a floater, you can bring somebody like in Pan, right? Tech got Goku in movie boss events where you need that damage reduction. Just a lot of different ways that you can build this team. And also with Beast Gohan's leader skill, you could potentially throw in other characters as well. And it's just going to make this team work and synergize together really, really well. So superheroes, you guys know I've been standing on the superhero soapbox since the beginning of time. So really a big fan of this team. And I think, honestly, I don't know if the 10th anniversary is really going to be buffing it too much. It's trending towards Z sort of getting the buffs, but who knows, right? It's been the year of superheroes, and if this happens to just be their year and that's it, then fine by me. It's still one of the best teams in the game. So that one's going to kind of coincide the next one with movie heroes. Really, it's everything that we've talked about already, but they just got a new kind of setup where you bring this Gohan and then the Super Saiyan trio is just going to make it work really well together. We get access to characters like this Gogeta, right? We have access to Tech Super Gogeta with this setup. We get access to this Super Saiyan trio if we're not running the Beast Gohan setup. Gogeta still finds his way on this team. God, Goku can slide onto this team. The Gammas can find a prominent role, but they are on superheroes anyway. If you need like a sleeper floater, you can bring like Pat the Power Kid Goku. This STR Piccolo works fine, right? A lot of really good characters. The Super Saiyan duo here of Goten and Trunks. I got it right that time. Boom, 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 boom. This Goten and Trunks, they work pretty well together with their EZA, so all things considered, I think this team is pretty damn good. But again, I think there's just better ways to run it. You run like a Super Saiyan Trio leader skill, or you run like a Beast Gohan leader skill. I just think there's a better way to run this team, but the category itself is really good. Now, moving on to the last submission on this list before I get the honorable mention for the whole list together, we have movie bosses. Basically, everything that I talked about, uncontrollable power, is going to reign true here, with the uncontrollable power stuff being like all these Broly characters. This is going to actually give us access to Tech EZA, Super EZA Beerus, and this guy is cracked. Like, he's literally like a top 2 TUR in the game, and is just going to like mesh really well on this team. You just slide Bio Broly out and you put Beerus in, and the same role is being fulfilled, just a defensive character, right? Yeah, both of the Brolys running around. This Tech Broly is really good, especially when you're running 2 of them, with the damage reduction in the first turn. And you transform him, he still has the damage reduction, he has the guard, he's doing all of these great things. Turles you get access to with this setup. The Broly trio, you know, again, a very suspect unit, but if you can get the orbs, they are worth the risk. Slug is going to find his way on this team. You know, Harudagarn, we know how they work. This Tech Broly's EZA. Janemba is a phenomenal character. This Golden Frieza can work really well if the fight's going for like 2 to 4 turns. I think that it can work out pretty well with his damage reduction. So, movie bosses, basically everything that I talked about with uncontrollable power is going to translate here. You're just losing access to characters like Kid Buu and Buuhan and stuff like that, which aren't a deal breaker, but they would be nice to have. But unfortunately, with movie bosses, that's kind of the way you want to go. So if you do want to run like a double int Broly leader skill, this guy right here, definitely not this guy, it could definitely work out in your favor. So there we have it. Now, the last category I want to talk about before I let you guys go is going to be the Special Pose team. Now, I'm sure some of you guys know with Special Pose, this team is about to get probably their best character. I would assume that this Gotenks is going to be the best Special Pose unit in the game. For the foreseeable future, assuming they don't go down the route of like some like Great Saiyaman or in the 10th anniversary that's just like busted beyond belief. I don't think we're getting LR Great Saiyaman for the anniversary, so I wouldn't worry about that. But you never know. So I think that this Gotenks could potentially make the Special Pose team look really, really good, especially when we have all of these Gotenks EZAs running around. We could potentially get some more value out of Ribria, Kakuza, and Rosie, more value for Topo if you link them up with Dispo. So just a lot of potential, and who knows, maybe an EZA to coincide with this Gotenks. So let me know down below what you guys think right now for the best teams in the game. Again, not ranked. It's going to say like top 10 in the thumbnail and all those fun things. But right now, I just want to talk about some of the best teams. First up, I have Majin Buu Saga. Second up, I have the Universal Survival Saga. Third up, I have Super Saiyans. Next, Transformation Boost. After that, Power Absorption, Kamehameha, Uncontrollable Power, Demonic Power. We have superheroes, movie bosses, and Special Pose. So let me know down below what you guys think of this list of teams here. Again, not ranked, so please don't assume that they're ranked. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like before you go, and subscribe if you are new, so that way you don't miss out on any of the Dokkan content we're doing around here. I'm excited to see how Gotenks' animations look and stuff like that, but that's all I got for you in this one. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.